Well, the Thursday interview studio is usually pretty cozy. Tonight, it's a crowded place, because never before on the Thursday interview have I had three guests. I'm delighted to welcome to the Thursday interview Mary, Dervla and Derek, better known to all of you and now better known to everybody in America as Crystal Swing. Welcome, folks.
Thank you very much, George.
Great to have you. And Derek, I'm going to go to you first, because you brought news, two radio stations to a halt today. You were on the Ray Darcy show, and apparently you hucklebucked around the office and you stopped. Every Newstalk went up as well.
Newstalk, yes, the Newstalk and today to join forces, you could say.
So just on this thing, I mean, are you a professional dancer in that way, or are you just handy?
Well, like, I don't know what you like. I never went for lessons in it.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Never went for lessons in it. You know, it's just what I do is just natural to me. It's like I've no routine, rehearsed or anything. You know, it's just spur of the moment. You know what I mean? It's like if I see someone in the crowd that's going to be that I know would dance with me, or you know, like let it go mad. You know, you just pick them, and that's the way it works with me.
Now, for the probably the very few people who don't know about you guys, let's go back a little in time, because this extraordinary success, Mary, and I have to say, your mum,
yes, isn't it?
And Dervla and Derek are brother and sister, and your kids, and Dad's involved. Dad's the roadie, is he?
Yeah, well, Dad is the roadie, and he's the sound man, you know. So it's very much a family thing, George. There's just the four of us, and like as you say, just to go back a little bit, I started out as a one-woman band going back about 8 years ago. Derek and Dervla joined me about 2.5 years ago. But saying that, as a family, we've been singing all the way up, you know. And Derek, you just mentioned about Derek's dancing. Since he was about 2 years old, he was dancing in front of the mirror, in front of the television. And Dervla has been singing since she was literally could talk. So, and of course, I have always been singing, and music has been in our house all the way up, George.
But like, this is the classic show business family in a way, you know, that the kids and the parents and all that sort of thing, and then eventually go on stage. And that's been around since the early days of the 20th century in vaudeville in America. I mean, famously there was Eddie Foy and the Seven Little Foys, yes. And of course there was the Jacksons and all that.
Yes.
So, but what I want to get for people who are probably suddenly discovering you, is this all started in YouTube? You didn't go the conventional route, Mary, and make a record. Why didn't you make a record?
Well, we have two CDs out, you know, two albums there, George. But you know, as I say, we were working away as a family band, and it was going very, very well in Munster. But Derek and Dervla both wanted to make a career in music eventually. So basically, you know, we decided we'd get a little bit of promotion for ourselves. We wanted to get better known up the country and in the UK. And we secured a manager, Hugh Rogers, who continues to be our manager, a wonderful man actually, and Hugh was helping us to get some dates up the country and in the UK. And also then we made a video which we put on a satellite television program, Rural TV, and instantly we got a reaction to that once it went on Rural TV. But we were not prepared for what happened next, George, because when the video went up on YouTube, it actually became a phenomenon, and instantly like our lives changed literally overnight. But it was a dream always, George, you know. It was a dream. I always felt some way that Derek and Dervla and myself would in some way maybe capture the hearts of a lot of people, but never ever expected it to this degree.
The first time I heard about you, Dervla, was Sean Moncrief. Sean picked you up, didn't he, in some way?
Yeah, well, Sean was the first national broadcaster, you could say. Like, we don't really know ourselves how things literally started, you know. There'd been a bit of talk, but Sean was the first national broadcaster, and once he broadcasted that, then suddenly everything just went up.
And you know, it was, other people had put us up on their websites before that, but we really don't know who was the first, because at that stage we weren't even aware what was going on. Our first realization of what was going on was when it actually went on Sean's show, and Sean was wonderful to us. He was playing the video and the song on his show, and I just literally got a phone call one day from somebody who said, Mary, Sean has you there on his show, you know. Right, and that was the first realization that something big was happening.
But Derek, you're just back from LA, the Ellen DeGeneres show. I mean, this is huge. Anybody in show business will cut off both legs to get on DeGeneres. Now, she had played your YouTube video on her show, hadn't she?
Well, it all started, of course, the YouTube, the video was going massive on it, and then she started, she put us up, she tweeted us, and she put us up on her homepage, firstly, and, she said to check out this band, so that was the first it started off with. And then on St. Patrick's Day, on her St. Patrick's Day show, she put the clip on her actual show, she played the clip, and, she said she loved us, and it all took off from there, and the show were in contact with us or whatever, but then they asked us to come on, to come on the show, and we did, and it's just unbelievable.
And you performed live on the show?
Performed live, yeah. It was it was done on the, it was done,
Thursday, and it was broadcast on Monday.
All right, okay.
Yes. She gave us fantastic airplay, even on the show, George. I mean, we feel we're so privileged, because on that particular show, which was last Thursday, at the start of the show when she was introducing us, she actually played the video clip again, and she mentioned us several times during the show.
But that's priceless when you think of the audience in America of millions.
Yes.
Like, with the greatest respect to my mate Moncrief, all our audience are minuscule in the context of Ellen DeGeneres.
So big,
absolutely. But Derek, the other thing about this is Tourism Ireland got behind you to go to LA, didn't they?
Yes, they did, yeah. I suppose, look, Ireland is, I suppose, I don't know how many Irish people have been on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I don't know. Very few if there is, because I'm not, I'm not too sure. But I suppose, when they heard we were going, we're a family band, they seen the family thing, and I suppose they wanted to give that
I spoke to the man who was in charge of Tourism Ireland, who was in charge of sending us out there, and he said that when obviously it was the Ellen show that wanted us out there, and Tourism Ireland were delighted to come behind us, because they felt like that maybe we were representing, happy family kind of a situation.
Sure. But I talked to Dervla about that in terms of representing Ireland. There are some negative voices. There are some people who say your music doesn't represent Irish music. What about that?
I mean, look, you're always going to get that when you're out in the public eye. And I was only saying this morning, and I actually laughed about it. If people don't like us, all they have to do is don't listen to us, because we're not going anywhere.
I know the feeling, Dervla, believe me.
We're not going anywhere. We're staying here.
Well, I suppose, they say it's not Irish, but the showband music, that was huge in the 60s. That took off.
Here I am being lectured by these two kids about music of the 60s. I mean, is there no respect at all?